Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm late. I was trying to get on here, and of course, technology. You already know. So I'm going to wait for you guys to come in a little bit. I know I've been gone between conference and just too much has been going on. So let me know if you guys can hear me. Um, I'm so happy to be back. I know it's been a while, and I miss you guys. I miss doing this. I miss this medium here. So I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. So um, and I did want to just say how excited I am for everybody to be back on here with me, and so I'm excited. Let me know that you're here. Let me know when you're in the comments that you're here, and uh, and I'll get started. I know it's Sunday, and I don't want to hold everybody up too late, but this one I do want to let I want to give you a chance to come in. I missed you guys, and it got to the point where I said, "This is going to happen tonight. I don't care what I have to do." So I'm back. So share this now for me. I had to come on here via this StreamYard, which I love, but for some reason on my phone I couldn't go live. I was already at 8 o'clock to go live. So hey, Reverend Terry, we really miss you. Hey, Sister Paula. Hey, June. Um, and first thing I want to say is praying for everyone that bereaved, praying for everyone that really going through right now, whatever season you're in, whatever year you're on. The only holiday, I mean, you got Thanksgiving coming up, but when people pass and these anniversaries happen, so keep those lifted up. Check on your friends that have anniversary dates coming up, major dates coming up. Our family has had our share, and this month of September is a rough one for us, namely for my sister-in-law Kelly. But we're also close to it's a rough one for all of us. And hey, Stephanie, we see you. We miss you. So go ahead and share this live for me and tell people I'm on. Also, and I know this might sound um, kind of kind of nuts, but I want to say please pray for the city of Springfield, Ohio. Now, we're about 30 minutes from Springfield, which is not far, but please pray for the Haitian community in Springfield. And we're getting reports that the Haitian kids are being bullied, being ridiculed, being picked on because of the 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 comment from an uninformed, he don't even really care whether he's informed or not, an idiot that in politics. And so, hey Brandon, and so people have to be mindful that when they say stuff that's hurtful, that that's also ridiculous, but say stuff that's hurtful and you just laugh it off like, oh, that's what I heard. There are victims. There are victims. And so those kids and those people have done nothing. And I take my hat off to the people of Springfield that have gone to the Haitian restaurants to let them know they stand with them and went there as patrons. And I for one appreciate that because a statement like that could close the doors to a restaurant. And we all know that if you have good service, you'll tell somebody, yeah, it was good, you should try it. But if you have bad service, you're gonna get on the phone, you're gonna get on a Zoom call, and you're gonna tell everybody about that. So please keep those kids in your prayers. They're already probably struggling as it is in our country. So but they belong here like everybody else. Because you don't want me to start where you don't want me, I ain't gonna get into that. But we're all foreigners in this country, including his wife and Vance's wife, and that's all I'm gonna say. because I'll go off on a tangent. I'm not going. That's not what I'm here for today. So I'm going to get to this message, and I've been holding it, and it was all I could do not to come to you early in the week. So, and I just want to thank God for traveling mercy, taking us back and forth to Kentucky to see our grandbaby. And as long as the Lord allows us, that's what we're going to be doing every other weekend. So, thank you, God, for bringing us back and forth. And all those that came to the parking lot and the praise today, praise in the parking lot at the temple, it was wonderful. Thank you all for coming. We got one more week to do that next week. And so we're excited. So weather permitting, we'll be outside. If the weather is not, we will be inside. So get your hips to church either way. Okay, so this topic today is called "They Look Good on Paper." They look good on paper. So the phrase "they look good on paper" is one of those sayings that means something looks like a seems like a good idea, a good plan, or a good argument when you read about it, but it may not be good in reality. And so you look good or they look good on paper not only applies to what some people think are good ideas, but it applies to applicants for a job. It applies to our relationships, whether it's our friendship, um, situationship, all of the ships that you have for your family, friends, all of it. And believe it or not, it applies to different churches and their ministries. So wait on me. So let me talk about the hiring process. And I'm sure if anybody works in HR or a part of the group that conducts interviews, you felt my pain. I'm going to say our pain, but you felt my pain one time or another. Now, almost 2 years ago, we had a mass exodus of nurses who left around the same time, which was all new to us. And so this caused our department to utilize travelers to replace our nurses until we can hire permanent ones again. And for our department, that was all new to us because we had the kind of department that once you came in there, no one left. So we had never experienced this kind of loss before. And like I said, most people stay for years and years and years. And let me say that we were blessed with that first round of travel nurses, meaning their talents matched their resume or what they said they could do, they could actually do. Now, I did say we were blessed with that first round. So, because we've heard in the health field, we've heard horror stories about travelers going and on paper they can do any and everything, but in reality they can't do anything. And some of them let you know why they're travelers because they can't stay nowhere. So our luck ran out on a few of them. I mean, can't get them all, can't win them all. See, we had a few come in that looked good on paper. I mean, we saw the resume, we saw all the things to check, all the boxes they checked, of all the things they could do, what they said they had experience in, what they said they were capable of doing. And it all seemed to fit what we needed. But like many organizations who are familiar with what I'm talking about, we know that there was a lie in there somewhere. And actually, several lies, several untruths, several omissions, and several fake people. Oh, but when the rubber had to meet the road, it was like an episode of Punked. Only we weren't the one punked. And as a side note, I would like to say that there are many times when we have to be part of the interview process when we love the person based on what they look like on paper. But for some reason, when they started working for us, that same person didn't show up for the job. And I was in a few interviews where when they left, we was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be great. They're gonna be great. And then they show up and I'm like, who did we interview? Because this ain't that. And I would often say to people, I just wish the person who came for the interview would actually show up for the job. So they could take that any way they want to, and they could take it really how I mean it. At the interview, you said you could do A, B, and C. During the interview, you said, "Oh, I love to work. I love to pick up extra. You can call me. I love that." Now, listen, we've had a few travelers that did not work out for us, like any organization. And at one time, it was reported to management that one of them was kikiing. You know what kikiing is, right? Kiki was kikiing in the break room about I look good on paper, but really they couldn't do half the stuff, half the boxes they had checked. They couldn't do them. What? And you didn't think at some point we were going to discover that? Man, bye. So during their kikiing, they need to make sure they kept that same energy when the gig was up. So when you're a traveler, you can break your contract with us, or we can break it with you. And as the organization, as the people hiring you, we don't owe you an explanation. Which, if we call your agency and say, tell them don't come back, you know why. So you don't even call it there because you know why. And let me say this before I move on. Education does not take the place of experience. Education is good, it's great, it's needed, but experience is key. So you can have all the degrees, certificates, certifications, extra letters behind your name until you have to run out of paper. But if you don't have the experience, that textbook stuff is not always going to line up with real life. See, the textbook told you if you do A, B, and C, this is your result. But the textbook was on paper. They weren't dealing with a human. And so you need to have experience along with that education to say, oh, so the last time this happened, this is what we had to do. That's what that means. So don't get me wrong, education can and will get you through the door, but education won't keep you in the door. Just because you're smart and you got that degree, don't mean you're gonna be able to do that job. Especially if you think because you got the degree that you don't have to listen and you don't have to learn anything, you're gonna be sorry. You're gonna be sorry. Raise your hand if you work for or are currently working for a manager, a supervisor, or a director who looks good on paper. Because, see, on paper, they meet all the requirements of the job, they check all the boxes, but they can't lead or manage their way out of a wet paper bag. And people skills, if you do not, and I'm off script, if you do not have people skills, you are not going to last in the job management. If you don't know how to talk to people, and if you think your job is to go behind them and micromanage, you're going to find yourself not only micromanage, you're going to find yourself having to do that job because then people going to quit. So if you're the manager and you have people under you, you have leads, you have different people under you, let them do their job. You should have more stuff to worry about. But some people, they look good on paper. I mean, based on what the job said, they look good on paper. Now, you can take all the classes you want to say now you're ready to lead folks. But if you don't know how to talk to people, and if you don't know how to deal with humans, not just what this paper says, you ain't gonna make it. You're gonna be leading by yourself. Now, looking good on paper also applies to relationships. And let me advise you, take those rose-colored glasses off and see them for who they really are. Because trust me, they show you who they are and they tell you who they are. If you at the restaurant and every time it's almost time for the bill, and all of a sudden they get a phone call and have to leave out and come back and you done paid the bill, If the light bill is due, but you give me this time, I'll pay you back. Actions speak louder than words because you never get paid back. So when it comes to dating, people are so busy looking at all the material things they have. Yeah, they got a nice car, but they got a nice car note. Yeah, they got a nice car with 2022s, but they live in their mama's basement. Yeah, they got a nice car, but they live with some woman on Section 8. Yeah, they got Jordans. Well, you can park your Jordans in your mama's basement or at the Section 8 house. Of course, you ain't helping pay no rent. You ain't got no bills. Your money is your money. You got to check out the content of a person's character. And I told y'all, your reputation is what people say about you, but your character is what you do when no one is watching. So if you have a reputation of being a nice person and you can turn it on and off, and so when somebody comes, you know, okay, they think I'm nice, so I gotta be nice. But your character, you nice whether the person is the president or the janitor. You nice whether it's the teacher or the student. You're nice all the time. So because remember, character, like I said, is who you are when no one is watching. Sisters, they can have the big house, the fast car, the expensive watch, the dream job, and even the bank account. But what kind of person are they? Are they the kind of person that gonna throw it up in your face? Well, you should be lucky that I picked you. You should be lucky that I'm with you because hundreds of chicks trying to get me. Okay, okay. So you can be in a big house with that big and all that stuff by yourself. Are they respectful towards women, especially their mothers? And now, before y'all come get at my neck, I know that not everybody has a good mother. Not everybody's experience with their mother was a good experience growing up. But for those that had good mamas, had good mothers that were in the home that took care of them, how do they now treat them as an adult? Are they short with them? Do they not want to deal with them? Because if he treating the woman that gave him birth and took care of him like a dog, I don't know what you think gonna happen to you. So, are they kind? Are they honest? Are they mature? Are they caring? Are they trustworthy? These are questions you got to ask. Do they take responsibility for their actions, or they always blaming somebody else? Oh, he looks good on paper. He got a Ivy League degree. He got, like I said, the big car, the big house. He got all the things that society deems as what's this word y'all using? High level. Is a high level man. I can't remember that dude that you look for a high level man. That might not be the right word. But when you're looking, if you're on searching for that person and you're not the woman that matches that person, high value. Thank you, Brandon. You're looking for this high value man. Now, who determines is high value because you got money, but you're rude and you're nasty and you're a narcissist? Does that still make you a high value man? Are you a high value woman because you got the good job, you got masculine energy, you don't need nobody, you don't need no man, you can do us by yourself? Does that make you a high value woman? And I don't even know where this term came from because if a high value man got to make the big six figures, how many of them y'all rubbing shoulders with? You better get you Larry at the down at the meal that's got a steady paycheck and got good benefits and a retirement and quit looking because listen, if he thinks you're beneath him, he's not gonna treat you right. He's gonna treat you like you should be happy to be with him. No, you should be happy to be with me too. We should be happy to be with each other. Are they reliable? because they look good on paper. They come and take you to the, are they reliable? If you tell, I need to be here, are they reliable? Can I count on, can you count on them? No, they look good on paper. They look good on paper. These dudes look real good on paper. But when you do a little fact checking, when you do a little digging and a little fact checking, you'll see that paper ain't worth nothing. You might as well burn that paper up. Brothers, your turn. Sis, you got a pretty face, the bomb shape, long hair, that's all yours, or yours because you bought it, the sweet personality, but is she kind? How does she treat her kids if she hasn't? How does she treat her family? How does she talk to you, brother, in public? Is she disrespectful? Does she like to showboat? Because she look good on your arm with arm candy. She looks good as your arm candy. But is she reliable? Is she trustworthy? Is she petty toward other women? Or does she have a nice sister circle? Because listen, a pretty face ain't gonna last forever. The bomb body ain't gonna last forever. I don't care how many times y'all run down to Miami and come back with all that stuff in you. I don't care where you go to get the Botox and this and these and all the things. The aging process is going to happen whether you like it or not. And the skin is going to sag, and they ain't figured out nothing that can help that. The skin is going to sag around all that. The skin is going to sag around all that. So go ahead and enjoy the aging process because it's a blessing. All right. It's a blessing to age. It's a blessing to get older and have wisdom and know better and be able to pass that wisdom down. It's a blessing. So I'm telling y'all, and for brothers, the muscles ain't gonna stay big all the time. That hairline gonna be gone and just go bald. That belly. So in my case, we aging together, both our hairlines, but I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. So see, on paper, they come from a good family, so you think, but you don't live with them, so you don't really know what goes on behind closed doors. You don't really know because they never let you in there in their circle. On paper, they have all the education you could ask for. But I'm telling you, if you still don't know how to treat people, you're going to be an educated, lonely person. When you really get to know them, you see the other side, start to see the real them. When you start to see the real them, you run. Do not walk. Run to the nearest exit. Shut up, Brandon. Now let's talk about the church that looks good on paper. Hello. Now I'm not talking about y'all's church because I know everybody on here, church is the best church. But I'm talking about the other church. Let's be honest. We've all heard of the kind of churches that people initially flock to based on the aesthetics of the building, the indoors, the outdoors. They have all the things. You got the coffee place in the lobby. You got on not church clothes. You got on whatever. And I know God says, come whatever, come any way you want to. But I'm telling you that for us, for Black folks, getting dressed up on Sunday was what we took pride in doing. And we watched our grandmamas do it and watched our mamas do it. And somewhere along the way, and I'm not saying if you don't have, you come as you are. But if you have it and you moving past all that stuff to go just to prove a point, you don't go to your jobs like that. You shouldn't come to God's house like that. But that's off script, though. I mean to say that. but it doesn't necessarily look like a church. It has a stage and the lights and the photographer and the action. It look good on paper, but what are you all being taught? What are you all being fed? Is it the bishop that got 10 people and y'all rolling red carpet and throwing foot petals, flowers at the feet? Or y'all getting taught? Do you remember what you're being taught? What Bible study? Is the church in the community helping? Do they care for people? They look good on paper. They got a 7:30, a 9:30, a 12:30, a 3:30. 3 people in it, but that's okay. 1 minute you saw them and they were reverend minister. Next thing you know, they're the prophet, they're the apostle, they're the king. What y'all being taught? I'm not saying that because a preacher doesn't go to the seminary that they're not called by God and they're not. I'm not saying that at all because God calls who he wants to call. But what you being taught? Did you flock to that church because it was new? Did you flock to that church because the band was live? Did you flock to that church because I don't have to listen? I can do what I want. I can come as I want. I don't have to change from Sunday to Sunday because I'm not going to be put on the spot. They're not going to preach anything that's going to prick my heart because I can just do what I want all week and then clock in at church and I've done my part for the week. They look good on paper. They look good on paper. Real good. But I mean, what are you taking in? What are they trying to what do they do? What do you see them doing? Do you see them in the community? Do you see them passing out food? Do you see them helping the homeless? Do you see them doing stuff? Or is it just a place to go on Sunday, get you some coffee, let that man or woman up there talk, let the band play, and then go back home? Or wherever you do on Sunday, then go to brunch and drink your mimosas because you already had your coffee, you already had church, you already did it. You went to 7:30 so you can go to the mimosa place. But what you get out of it? That's your most important time. That's your soul time. Church should help you make it from Sunday to Wednesday when you have a Bible study or a prayer meeting. That Sunday message, if you're listening, it should help you get through so that you can go in the work world and the school world and the kid world so you can go and handle it and not take the bridge, not sit in the corner and not want to come out again. They look good on paper. They got 20,000 members, but only 10 of them in the house, and the other 19,000 is online. But you saw they had, so you came. And if you're being fed, I mean, and this isn't a come to Allen Temple. This is get up and go to a church. Go to a church and get your souls fed. Get your soul protected. This is go to a church. You got to go where you're comfortable and where you're being fed. We're not everybody's cup of tea, but other churches not everybody's cup of tea either. So this isn't a build membership at Allen Temple because if you come, you're gonna stay. But you need to be somewhere on a Sunday, or if Seventh-day Adventist on a Saturday. You need to be somewhere getting fed. You got to get fed so you can fight the war that you're going out there with. We're going into a time right now, this political time that we're in, that we were in 4 years ago, and we back at it again. You need something to build you up. You need something to keep your mind straight so that you don't go off on nobody. But listen to the word. But you got to be getting their word. And I know that there are some people that are homebound and they can't come out, and this is why God made it so that internet church could happen, because then you could see it and watch it and still be a part of it. But that's not for all of us. If you can get your hips down to Paul Brown Stadium or whatever Pittsburgh, the Three River Stadium is, or if you can get your hips to UC or all of those things, and you sit there and you don't leave till the game is over, and you never complain, and you don't worry about the parking and the crowds and the price of food, then you can go to somebody's church for 1.5 to 2 hours. That's it. That's just it. Does that church look Christ-like, or does it look like a concert, a rock concert, or a rap concert, or because you got that too? It's like a rap concert. What is it? Does everybody try to be the same thing there? Is it Christ-like? Because that's what you need to be. Are there cliques and the outsiders are not welcome in? What's that about? Y'all already deal with cliques at home, cliques in your family, cliques on your job, cliques in school, cliques on your team. And then you got to come to church and do cliques? Get up out of there. Get up out of there. Everybody is the same. And when God comes, everybody is the same. He's not gonna say because you had a education from an Ivy League school, come on up. You still gotta be saved. Ivy League education or GED. Church is not a country club. The church is not just another something for you to do. It should not be. And then you got your Wednesday, you're like Reverend Terry said, your filling station to get there. Your midweek. Do they have midweek services? Are they doing things? Be a part of something that doesn't just look good on paper, but is good on and off paper. In your relationship, don't just get with somebody that looks good on paper, but is good, is kind, is sweet, is trustworthy. Don't be fooled by all the glitz and glamour. And fellas, don't be fooled by us. Because I take this thing off and take this thing off and untouch stuff, and then that's what you got. And so did 75% of the other chicks with me. Tucking, snapping. So the package looks nice, but when you open the package, what do you get? Do they have anything other than a pretty face? Is there anything else? Is there anything else there? Does he have anything other than a nice body? Is there anything else there? So listen, that's all I got. I just want to tell you just to beware of stuff that looks good on paper, especially now in this political arena. Because I'm looking at some of the stuff that they say these politicians do or have done. They look good on paper, but when you fact check, they're not. Look at some of these pastors; they look good on paper. When you fact check, they're not. Even jobs. This job looks good on paper. Everybody want to work there until you get in there, and they're like zombies in there. Stuff look good on paper. Do your homework. Whether it's your job, whether it's your church, and whether it's your relationship, do your homework. So you're not left out in the cold. Just do your homework. All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all coming back. I'm back now. My Sunday nights, whatever I have to do, I'm gonna be back on here. So I thank you guys for joining me and giving me your time. And I'm gonna hop off. And I want you all to have a blessed week. And if you need prayer, text me, email me, um, however you need. And I'm praying for y'all anyway. So all right, have a blessed week. Hey Tony, you be blessed too, baby.